Hi guys, and welcome back to another video. So today's video is going to be a little bit different. I am going to split it into kind of like two parts. So the second half I'll be doing some kind of like drawing or painting today, as well as I'll be showing you guys a quick speed paint or time lapse of something that is going to be shown in the first half, which is I'm going to show you guys kind of like a showcase of products and stuff that I've gotten from Vograce. So let's get into that first. So if you guys watched my previous video about Vograce, you know that Vograce is kind of like a really great manufacturing company that has a low minimum quantity, quite fast turnaround times, and for like the most part, as well as they have a very kind team that can help you with if you have any needs for like customer support, or if you have any questions about your order, you can definitely contact them. The other thing I wanted to talk about is that Vograce actually has a kind of a VIP program for people who might use Vograce more often than some others. If you're a person who plan to use Vograce more times in a year, like 5 or more times, or if your amount exceeds like 1,200 per year, then you might want to consider their VIP program, because the VIP program is only $99 and it basically gives you kind of like discount codes, coupons, and everything to help you basically like minimize costs if you plan to order products, or pretend like if you're running a store or you're going to a convention and you always need to restock and reorder, or you want to try out new products several times a year. This is a cheaper option for you because you'll get coupon codes, you can get like discounts every month, and then yeah. So if you would like to check that out, I'll leave a link in the description to their VIP coupon program thing that you guys can check out. So let's talk about the products that I decided to try out this time. 2 products, or kind of like 3 products I've done in the past, but I either changed something or it's a new design. So let's get into those first. Also, apologies, I'm a little bit congested because I kind of got sick like maybe a day or 2 ago, so apologies about that. So the first product you guys would have seen from previous videos, like my sketchbook doodles videos, that it's this notebook that I've designed. It has my little signature at the back, and then I just called this like my peony notebook because they basically I just have peonies on the front. And I'll give you guys a quick little show through about this. So in the inside cover, so you can see there's kind of like this manila color in the front, and then after that it kind of has like the notebook paper. So on the inside you can see that there is several sheets of paper here. It's kind of like an off-white. It's a tiny bit warmer than like I would say like normal printer paper, but I really like the color of this paper. Also, it's really smooth, but the paper is thin. I don't think it's meant for like heavy washes or anything. Like I said, it's like a notebook. So and it has a back pocket as well. It comes with a band where you can customize the color. They have like pre-selected colors, and you can kind of match the band and the bookmark with whatever cover you have. I decided to go with this goldish yellow because I just thought it looked a little bit nicer with the stars. But this is an old product. This is something that I made during their crowdfunding, and I only ordered like a few of these at the time. They have the notebooks up on their website, it seems like permanently, or at least a little bit more accessible now since the crowdfunding has went well. You can order them, like you can order as much as you want and whenever you want. So if you're interested in making your own notebook, I highly recommend it. And I'm going to show you guys some new designs that I've made. So they do come pre-packed and kind of like in this plastic sleeve when you first receive them. And you can see I have 2 designs. So I have this one, which I'll put the name up. I don't really remember. I might call it the Moonlight notebook. We'll see what I call this one. And then I have this one, which is kind of the more simple grid, kind of with kind of like a watercolor effect, kind of to fade it out as stars on the front and a moon on the back. So I wanted to make one that matches my peony one with more kind of like cooler colors. This is another combination of colors that I really like. I'll make sure to take proper pictures so you guys can see it. And then I have a more simple one, just in case if people don't really like an overall whole, I don't know, like a full illustration kind of thing on the back and on the front. So if you like more simple kind of designs, this might fit you. And then you can customize the spine as well. And you can see that the bands, I chose white for this one, and I chose kind of like a baby blue for this. I'll show you guys a close-up of these. These ones are for gifts for friends, so I'm not going to open them. But I have pre-opened ones. So I'm going to zoom in to show you guys the details and show you guys kind of like the inside and the difference between the bands, because there is a bit of a difference. Okay, I'm gonna be fighting with the sun a little bit because it keeps changing the lighting, but this is the first design, or I guess at this point it's my second design, and you can see it has these kinds of flowers, and I decided to go with more of a blue, kind of greenish. I'm not sure how well you guys can see the colors, but yeah, hopefully this is accurate enough. So here is the front cover. And then we have the spine, which I just put stars, and it's a full wrap around with the full design going across. Maybe I'll try to include some pictures of how I did the layout for these. Here is the back. I have my signature at the back, kind of just at the bottom. It has this nice, like, I think it's a PU leather notebook, so it has a really nice texture to it. It's also very, like, smooth. Like I said, has that kind of manila color inside of here, and then after that it's kind of like this nice slightly off-white paper. Now the bands and the bookmark will always match, and I always think that's quite nice, so I decided to pick this color because I think it just matches the overall color scheme the best. Now for this one, show you guys quickly, it's kind of like a navy blue with a white band. Like I said, I have like a kind of like a little grid with a peony and then a couple of stars and kind of like this texture wear on it for the grid, because I didn't want the grid to stand out completely on both sides. So I have my signature again, and then, or like my handle, I guess, and then another grid with the moon and 2 stars. But I wanted to show you guys that some of the bands have a different thickness to it. I don't know if you guys can tell. This is kind of like a thicker elastic, and then this one's kind of like that thinner one. I do prefer this, but I think that it's not too big of a difference. If you guys have seen in the past, I've done washi tapes, and this is like the little clover design. I'll just like tear a little bit off and put it on a paper so you guys can see more appropriately. So it's kind of like a little swatch of the washi tape, and it kind of has like this little bit of a glossy finish to it, kind of matte and glossy. It's not like full-on gloss. I think the gloss is from like the ink itself, but yeah, the colors are quite vibrant. It doesn't smudge or come off or anything, and it's easily removable. I like using these for like painting as well because I don't really feel too precious about my own tapes compared to using other people's. But here is the other design that I decided to get. I don't know how well you guys can see it. I wanted to make something a little bit Genshin related because I like having Genshin merch for myself, but I know a lot of you guys will also enjoy it. So let me show you guys this one. I did go with a thinner tape this time. So let me see if I can get the full gang on here. Look how cute that is. So we have the little slimes. I have the Pyro, Hydro, Animo, the Electro, Dendro, Cryo, and the Geo. Now, a good thing about what I love about Vograce is how fast they respond to your emails. So I actually missed the detail of, for some reason, he didn't have the little crystal on his head. I'll zoom in so you guys can see. So hopefully you guys can see that. But the little Cryo slime didn't have like the little gem on his head. And I quickly emailed one of the representatives, and they emailed quickly back with saying that they're able to change my file. So that was great because I accidentally hid the little gem on his head on the file that I sent. And like I said, I went with a thinner, I feel like this is the more usual size for washi tape, and this is the thicker size, or like the thicker width. So yeah, you can definitely customize how much tape you want to. I think it's like 5 meters and 10 meters, and I believe these ones is like 5 meters. Moving on to another kind of like tiny product. I don't know where I put my other version, like my very first version. He might be on my purse. I'll go get him a little bit later. I'll post like a picture of him. But I decided to make another charm of Masaki. I'll just stick them on this white piece of paper so you guys can see them a little bit better. But here's another charm of Masaki. I decided to go with a larger design. I didn't realize how tiny a 2-inch charm was with my very first one, and my very first version also didn't have the epoxy coating, nor did it have, I think, the hollow flakes. I don't really remember. He might have had the hollow, but no epoxy. So I decided to go with a single-sided epoxy to see how well the quality was, and can I say how much I love this? It feels so nice to have it with epoxy. You can definitely do 2 sides with epoxy, and you can see that I got him double-sided. So I have him in kind of like a winter outfit, and then his usual outfit with the same flowers. But what I like about their charms specifically, besides that you can customize the little keychain at the top, they have like a bunch of different ones. You can get like phone straps instead of keychains. There's also different shape keychains. But what I like about their acrylic charms is that they seem to never basically do a single sheet of acrylic. They always seem like to sandwich the artwork, which I really like, because you don't have to worry about the artwork scratching off, because both sides have like acrylic, or in this case this one has epoxy to seal it off, which I really like. Now to keep it short, I'm going to show you guys I think 2 more products that I have that I decided to try that are new, and one of them I will show you guys basically the process of me making it in a time-lapse mode. Okay, so the first product I wanted to show you guys is this. So as you can see, I decided to use the slimes. So I actually had these guys done on separate layers, and I decided to straighten them out to use them on the washi tape. But this is the original design that I wanted to use them for, which is kind of like a pencil pouch or a pencil case. It is double-sided, and you can choose the upper little lining if you want it to be black or white. I decided to go with black this time just because I didn't want it to stand out too much from the little design, even though I think white would have matched them nicely. Now I'm going to show you guys the version out of the packaging because I don't want to damage this one. So I already filled it with stuff. It actually fills up quite a bit of stuff. I will leave the measurements. What is going on? I'll leave the measurements on the screen so you guys can see, but you can see that it's nicely made. It's kind of like this nice canvasy texture. I was reading reviews and people were saying that as long as you're not putting super duper fine details, a lot of the stuff will show up nicely. The canvas texture does have like little holes or little like where you can see it kind of like the stitching and stuff, which is why they can't do a super clear print of like super tiny details, but a lot of the small details were able to be kept in, if you can see those. And I think, yeah, the printing quality is great. I think the zipper is held on nicely. I've seen like cheaper products where the seams and stuff were just poorly done, but I really like this one. It holds a lot of stuff and the inside is black, but I think that depends on the zipper as well. So you can see the texture kind of is like this canvasy texture, and I think for the most part it works well. And like I said, the printing quality is quite nice. You can kind of see the little bit of gradation from like a cool color to a warmer color down here, as well in these guys where they kind of have like a bit of a gradient. It still works out nicely. Some of these details are a little hard to see, but that's on my part, but they still show up quite well in my opinion. Super cute. But yeah, the smallest details I think is up here, but they still print. So yeah, just be wary about making your details just clear enough. So yeah, this is the design. Animo, Geo, Hydro, Cryo, Pyro, Dendro, and Electro. And like I said, the colors are very clear. And yeah, I think the printing quality is actually really great for this kind of a product. They do have like canvas tote bags and all that jazz, so if you're interested in making some other kind of like bags or anything like that, definitely check out Vograce for that. Okay, so the last product that I want to show you guys, it might be hard for me to show you guys directly, and we'll see how this goes. So here is how it came in the packaging basically. So it comes with this disc and then the larger acrylic piece. You can see it's my OC Masaki, and I'll show you guys the assembled version. So I'm not sure if you guys can tell what kind of product this is, but this is a phone stand, and this was the product I was super excited to show you guys because this is something I've been needing for a long time, and I actually don't know how many I received of these, so this will probably be limited stock as well as the pencil case, but maybe I'll do a pre-order version as well, so if people would like to, I can have those made for next year. But yeah, let's get to the open portion and the functionality of this. Okay, I don't know how is the best way to show you guys this product, just because of the webcam angle, but this is how it came. Also, by the way, the charms or like any acrylic piece, you have to make sure to take off any of those little plastic things that kind of protect it from like scratches or smudges. So make sure to do that when you receive the product, whether it's from another artist or if it's from like a manufacturer like Vograce. So like I said, they came with two pieces like this. This is the stand part, and this is the actual thing that holds up your phone. So it has these two little notches here, and basically you want to slip this into here and then turn it, and then you can adjust it so that it basically stands flushed with your surface without it kind of like tilting or anything. You find the right angle. I think that's good. But I was worried that this stand would not be able to hold up my phone. My phone's a bit on the heavier side because of my phone has like the wallet compartment to it. I'll show you guys. So this is my phone, but I have my cards at the back, so it's a little bit of a bulkier phone, but I always hate propping up my phone like this on the surface, so I wanted to have some kind of stand. So I'm gonna try to eliminate my reflection in this. Basically, if you just place it on top, it holds your phone really nicely. You can definitely check the width of what this acrylic piece is and definitely figure it out whether or not it's gonna work for your phone. I'm pretty sure it will hold up most phones anyways, and you can see it's holding it up quite nicely. I don't really have to worry about it tilting or like falling or like, you know, swiveling or anything. It's quite sturdy, which is really nice. Like, it really holds my phone. Also, when I play Tears of Themis, this is the easiest way for me to play while I'm typing away at my computer. So this stand is double-sided. I believe you can customize it so you can have two different sides if you really wanted, but for this, the simplicity of it, I decided to keep it so that it's the same design on both sides. I just think it's really pretty, but you can definitely have two sides so that you're feeling a different mood and you can just flip it around. I don't know, I don't know, I really like this piece, and I'm really excited to show you guys the time-lapse portion. Hopefully I can export that and I didn't delete it. But yeah, this is something that I think I've only seen Vograce actually make this kind of product, and they have a bunch of different ones. They have pen holders and like, you know, like stylus holders. They even have this cute little Ferris wheel for your keychains if you wanted to. So yeah, definitely check out the different products that Vograce can make. And if you ever have any questions about how to design a product or make a product, you can definitely contact them. Let's get on to the art portion of this video because I don't want this to take up too much time. But like I said, if you are an artist who is planning to do kind of like a online store, or if you're planning to sell your merch more consistently, let's say if you're going to be attending conventions in the future, because I know a lot of conventions are now opening up, and you want to consistently kind of like restock your stuff at a more efficient way, but also at an affordable price and minimum quantity, then check out Vograce's VIP program. It's definitely a good thing to look into if that is something you're interested in. So let's get on to the artwork and the time-lapse for little Masaki standy thing here. Yeah. Okay, so I don't really remember if I said this at the beginning of the video, but I was going to include two different, I guess, like video footage. So one is obviously the speed paint and then, or time lapse, and then another one was going to be a time lapse of me painting like traditionally, but I'm going to scrap the second part because for two reasons. One, I don't want the video to be any longer than it already is. And then 2, I think my friend watches these videos and I kind of want to surprise her. So Star, if you're watching this, I expect a package soon, I guess. So yeah, let's talk about this illustration just a bit. I'm drawing my Osi Masaki, as you saw from my little phone holder, phone stand thing. And I had the concept of, I just really wanted to draw Masaki really peacefully with wisterias. I don't know why, but I think I was like digging through my Japan trip photos. And one thing I really wanted to do when I was in Japan was actually to visit, I think it's the Wisteria Tunnel, but it was so out of the way. And we didn't have enough times. Like, we only were there, I think, for, was it only 3 weeks or was it 2 weeks? I don't know what it was. It might have been 2.5 weeks or something like that. Basically, we didn't have enough time to go there because it was like, I think it might have been like 6 hours to get there or something like that. Like something really long to get there and go back. So basically, it'll take up an entire day just to go see some flowers. Not sure if my friends and my brother were really down for that. But yeah, so I decided to research more about what the wisterias and stuff, and I found them really pretty. I really loved them, so I wanted to draw Masaki with them. So in the beginning, I had some scribbles and doodles because I was having a conversation with my brother, and he had some questions, so I was explaining some things to him. But then after that, you can see I was experimenting a little bit. I had a sketch of Masaki done, but then I don't know if I wasn't liking my sketch, so I decided to try doing line art. But I took a break and then I came back and I was like, nope, I don't like the line art. So we're going back to my usual method of painting underneath my sketch, set my sketch to multiply, and then I will merge the layers, and then we can add effects and all that jazz after we clean up and render the figure a little bit more, and then we can add like the background and stuff a little bit after, which I kind of added in a simple way, but we'll get to that a little bit later. I actually really like the colors that I put into Masaki's hair. It's kind of unfortunate that I cover up his hair with the wisteria flowers after. I do like the colors of like the purpley blues and the greens in his hair, along with the kind of like warmer browns. So here's my attempt of trying to figure out how I wanted to do the wisterias. So I was trying out different brushes to see if there was brushes that I liked, but I ended up with the usual way how I paint flowers if I am unsure on how to paint them. So I will just blob them in, then slowly flesh them out, slowly just add colors, and then add a little bit of lines to kind of make them stand out a little bit. Then I copied and pasted the flowers all over, just to kind of keep the simplicity of it so I don't have to draw a bunch of different ones. And then after that, I kind of used the Gaussian blur to figure out a little bit better ways to show a little bit more depth. And I added one more little kind of like little bunch or strands of wisterias coming from the left side, and I'll blur that a little bit later as well. But one thing I found that was kind of missing, besides the fact that it wasn't finished rendering his hair or his face, or I guess his clothes and his hands. So after I finish the wisterias for the most part, I go back to render the rest of Masaki, and then later on I'll add I think it's an addition layer and a multiply layer. So addition right here to add kind of more of a warmer light so that he's kind of backlit, and then I'll add a multiply layer afterwards so that we can put his face a little bit into shadow, as well as kind of letting those, is that komorebi? Is that what it's called? It's like when the light peers through the leaves, but I'm having like the shadows of it kind of be placed on top of his head, like his hair area, so that it looks, I don't know, it just looks really pretty. I do have it on his shoulders as well so that it kind of pops through, and then later on I'll add extra petals kind of flowing into the foreground, and then I'll blur them to have it look like they're kind of in motion. But I think that's it for the whole process. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I am running on such little sleep because I was sick for the past like 2 to 3 days, so I don't feel the best, but that's okay. Hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye.